Hello there, and a very, very warm welcome to this session that I'm doing on how to open the door to your dreams and achieve big dreams in 2024. And I had a whole bunch of people say they're really interested in this topic, but for whatever reason, some people can't make it live. So I'm recording this, and I'm going to make sure that it is in the hands of anybody who needs to hear this, because this is really, really, really important. I want to make a massive impact on more people this year, and that starts with you listening to this recording right now. And if anybody does hop on live, then great. You can kind of join in and get to hog my pick my brains, as it were. But let's get into how you really make this happen. So first thing I want to talk about is those dreaded New Year's resolutions and why they fail, why people kind of give up on their New Year's resolutions very often before January is out, sometimes even before the first couple of days of January is out. And there's lots and lots of reasons why they fail, and therefore why it makes sense to take a completely different approach. So the first thing is that often people make their New Year's resolutions not based on something that they truly, deeply want, but it's based on things they think they should do. So, for example, I should get my health under control. I should try and be a nicer person this year. I should try and earn more money. I should. Shoulds don't work. Shoulds are not going to motivate you. So instead, what we really want to be doing is looking at something that you have a deep reason to do. Something is that you really finally want to nail. Now, it might well be that you've wanted to nail this before, but it's all to do with how you tap into that. For example, year after year after year, I had that, I really should lose some weight and get fit. Every January, I had the same goal. I was going to go to the gym. I was going to, make things happen. I was going to finally, do that, lose the weight, etc. But it wasn't compelling enough. It was because I felt I should lose weight and I should look after my health. We all know we should, right? But it just doesn't happen. And then I decided that there was something that I really wanted to do, which was to hike the Inca Trail. In order to hike the Inca Trail, I was going to have to finally lose the weight and get fit. And because I'm taking you back to, December 2018 and going into the new year of January 2019, I had a compelling, I want to do this because there's something I want to do. It changed everything. All of a sudden, I found myself making progress, and I lost rather something like, I don't know, 3.5 stone. What's that? I don't know, between 45 and 50 pounds, I think. I had no idea what that is in kilos. But I lost a lot of weight and I got fit and I felt strong and I felt brilliant. Okay, so you got to lose the shoulds. You've got to find what is the reason to do it and really connect with it. And maybe you need to even get creative about building something so super exciting that you're going to do. So it's not just like, oh, finally, get my health under control, get fit. To do what? You don't have to go and do the Inca Trail or climb Kilimanjaro like I did, but there's got to be something else that's going to be a driving force, behind this. So the first reason that people fail, and we're going to, take a different approach, is the shoulds. We're going to lose the shoulds and we're going to build wants instead. The second thing is that it's often with a New Year's resolution based on all or nothing. all right, doomed to fail. So it's like, that's it, it's midnight, 31st of December, going into the 1st of January, that's it. I am never, ever, ever gonna eat another chocolate. I am never gonna drink another drop of alcohol. I'm never gonna do X, Y, Z. Not just the never things, but it's that's it. I'm going to get up every single morning at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or whatever, and I'm going to go and to the gym every single day. I'm going to do yoga every single day. I'm going to meditate every single day. I'm going to do X, Y, Z every single day. And guess what happens? As soon as you miss a day, as soon as you eat that first chocolate, as soon as you take that first drink, it's over and you give up. So this is never going to work. So again, when I finally lost my weight, I stopped saying, I'm never going to eat chocolate again. And I actually started to look at a program where I could enjoy, the odd chocolate now and again. Now, clearly, you can't pig out on that because you're not going to get anywhere, but it's not over. And that's why a New Year's resolution fails, is because it's all or nothing. And once it's over, it's over. But if you've got a plan, if you've got a long-term intention, then one little slip isn't going to stop you. All right. So let's lose the shoulds and let's lose the all or nothing approach. And instead, we're going to set good intentions with firm plans on making everything happen. All right. So the next thing is, a lot of the time you set goals which are not the right goals for you. You decide, oh, this year I'm going to do this. Why? And again, a lot of the time, this is because you might be following a particular guru who's telling you that in order to be successful, you've got to do X, Y, Z. It could be that, first of all, the goal is not the right goal for you. If it's not the right goal for you, it's never going to happen. I remember when I first started coaching, if you didn't have a goal that you were going to make £1 million by the end of the year, there was something wrong with you. But it wasn't my goal. And I wasn't motivated to make it happen, So first of all, it's got to be the right goal. The second thing is, it's the method of achieving that goal. So these gurus, very often they'll tell you the only way of achieving this is by doing that. Nothing else will do. And that's bollocks, It's like, if you look at them, my thing is climbing mountains. I chose Kilimanjaro. There's a lot of mountains that I could choose. There's a lot of mountains that I have climbed, in addition now to Kilimanjaro. But it's like, why that one? Why not Everest Base Camp, for example, or why not Everest itself? Why not Mount Kenya? Why not a whole load of others? So first of all, you have to choose the right mountain. And for me, Kilimanjaro always just spoke to me. But even once you've chosen your mountain or your challenge, your goal, there are a number of different routes to get there. There are about 8 or 9 different routes to get to the top of Kilimanjaro. And some of those routes even have different numbers of days that you can do that route over. And it's got to be what's going to work for you. There's no, right or wrong one. Some have got more chances of success than others. And that's where working with a coach can help you work out, what's going to be the best chance of success for you. A lot of people, for example, make the mistake of trying to go too fast and then it doesn't work. So, for example, again, with Kilimanjaro, it's a long way away. People often want to do other things when they go to Tanzania, like they want to go to safari, they want to go to Zanzibar and have the Paradise Beach holiday, because let's face it, if you're going all that way to Tanzania, you want to make the most of your trip. So what happens, I'm just trying to sort my lighting out here, it's getting dark and things are looking a bit, I'm going orange, but never mind. But anyway, because there's a lot, people want to put a lot, try and cram a lot in. they choose one of the shortest, fastest routes to climb Kilimanjaro. And the trouble is then you don't acclimatize to altitude and therefore you fail. Okay, same is true of what you might want to achieve in life. You know, you've got to pick the right goal for you. You've got to pick the right method of achieving that goal for you. Okay. Another reason that it could fail is, like I said, the goal might not be in alignment with who you are. Might be a great goal, but is that really truly in alignment with your personality, with who you really truly deeply are inside, and with what you truly deeply desire, you know? So if the goal is not in alignment, even if it's a really good goal, like I said, it's, you know, it's got to be the right one for you. And then, you know, like I've said, it's the right method. Okay, so these are all the reasons why a New Year's resolution doesn't fail, very often fails, and why you need to start looking a lot more closely at this and diving deep into what you want and how you're going to achieve it. All right, so what are you going to do instead? Well, I created a model which I call the discovery model of success. And I created that now way back, probably in 2002. And I've been using it ever since with myself and clients really successfully because it gets results. All right. The first thing, like I said, is to throw out the New Year's resolutions out the window and instead start making firm intentions, set intentions, make firm plans. Okay. So let's go through this model. And by the way, I haven't got PowerPoint for you. I wanted to speak from the heart, where you get to, you know, I want to connect with you. I want you to see the whites of my eyes, and I really want you to get this. But I want you to write this down. So first of all, write the word discovery, and then write D, and the D is all about deciding. This is critical. Like I just said, you get it wrong and you set the wrong goal for you, nothing's going to happen. But the first thing you have to do is to make sure the goal is in alignment. So the first thing you need to do is decide, who are you? Ask yourself the question, who am I really? Let me give you an example on this. When I first got into coaching and speaking, really wanted to make an impact in the world. I really enjoyed speaking on stage, did the whole Toastmasters Professional Speakers Association and everything, because I wanted to make an impact. So I believed at that time that I wanted to be like a female version of Tony Robbins. And then I kind of really started pursuing that. And I really felt that this was, you know, my mission, my goal. But as I got more into that world, I started falling down and things weren't happening. And I couldn't understand why until I realized. And I think it's different now, but back then, all the people who were really successful doing the whole big speaking thing on stage, they were very much into the being suited and booted, you know, the power dressing, like the suits, the heels, the immaculate turnout. And that was never me. I couldn't resonate with that. I kind of rebelled against that image. I felt like I felt like, oh, this is good. I don't want to criticize the people who do this because that's them. But for me, it felt like I was trying to be something I wasn't. I felt like you were taking me to a poodle parlor. You know, I don't do the heavy, I don't do the full makeup, the coiffed hair. And I'm not into fashion. I'm not into being immaculate turned out. Never have been. So this was a problem for me. And it subconsciously got in the way. And I realized that I needed to start connecting with people in a different way. And I realized, you know, as the years went by, that who I am inside is not the corporate, immaculate type of coach. Nothing wrong with those who are. You know, that if that's who you are, brilliant. But it wasn't who I was. And I thought, you know what, I'm more of a beach bum. I'm happier in shorts and flip-flops. And then sort of in more recent years, I'm like, no, I'm a hiker. I'm happiest in my hiking pants and my boots and, you know, my hair in pigtails, and that's who I am. Now, I can still be who I am and still be an amazing speaker and coach, but I have to present myself in a much more authentic way, and I have to connect with my goal in a much more authentic way. And this is what I want for you too. I want you to really think about who you are, and for the goals that you think you want, are they in alignment with who you are? Because the next part of D, after you've decided who you are, is decide what you want and make sure they're in alignment. You know, who do you need to be to achieve what you want? And if who you need to be to achieve what you want is not who you are, we might have a problem. All right. So I want you to do a deep dive on this. Now, there are certain things about who you need to be that, yeah, I can change that. Like, for example, it might well be that you need to achieve this goal that you've set yourself, and, you know, a goal that you feel deep down in your heart, yeah, this is in alignment. This is what I want. This is, you know, so my big mission is to impact the world. I want to give people more confidence. I want to make people, you know, I want to work with people to help make their dreams and goals happen. And then I want to take some of the wealth that I create and I want to give back by going and volunteering in places like Tanzania again, like I did a couple of years ago. But in order to build what I want to build, I probably need to be more disciplined. Okay, now I can become more disciplined without changing my personality. But what I have to do is get creative and clever with my routine. Okay, I'm hoping this makes sense for you, because you really have to have this D sorted. You need to decide who you are. You need to decide exactly what you want. They have to be in alignment with each other. But also then what you do need to do is look at, who do I need to be? And can I be that, but without changing my personality? And in some cases, that's going to be, yes, I can do that. And sometimes it's going to be, no. What do you need to tweak? How? This is so important. And once you nail this, you're going to really suddenly be in a much different and better place to make your dreams a reality. I promise you. Okay, so that's D. The next thing is you have to engage with that. So I, okay, the I of discovery is all about stepping into that. Imagine it as if you already had it. So what I want you to do is think about what you want to achieve in 2024. But rather than doing it from where you are now in 2023, we're going to take a little journey and we're going to fast forward. And I want you to see yourself in December 2024. So it's the 15th of December 2024, and you're on this call with me and you're celebrating everything that you've achieved during 2024. So I want you to start imagining what you've already achieved, because there's a different energy when you start thinking about what you've already done and how you did it. So what have you achieved? And I want you to kind of like have a bit of an insight. So what you're going to do is you're going to, who are you in December 2024? And I want you as that person to go back to the you now in December 2023. And what insights have you got to give to yourself? So you in December 2024, what are you going to say to the you in 2023? What did you need to do differently? How did you need to change? What did you do? And how did that work? Right, so there's so much more to this than we've got time for on this call right now. But I'm going to tell you how we can go deeper into this. And I'm not selling anything. I promised you I wouldn't sell anything. But I'm going to tell you how you can do this for free. Okay, so that's the I. And what you need to do with the I is you really need to build that picture, build in all the senses. You know, you're there, you've done it, you've achieved it. What did you see? Yeah. What did you hear? What did you feel? What did you taste? Okay, bring all of your senses in, you know, and what did you feel on your skin out externally? What did you feel inside? What did you smell? Yeah, bring all the senses in. This is so powerful, I promise you. Okay, then the S is you're going to go back to that starting point. So the you in 2024 is going to come back to the you in 2023, and you're going to go, okay, so I've done this, but now I need to get real about where I actually am. Am I kidding myself? So S is all about your starting point. And a lot of the time we kid ourselves. So when I had some weight to lose, for example, it was like, oh yeah, I could do it losing a few pounds. No, I'm not going to give you the number, but I needed to lose more than just a few pounds. And you need to be honest about where you are and what needs to happen. And think about, well, in order to get to where, you know, in order to achieve what I have achieved in 2024, what did I need to do? Were there skills that you needed to take on board? Mindset changes. Did you need to increase your confidence? And then it's like about the path. How do you do that? So let's talk about increasing your confidence for a moment. There are a number of different ways that you can do it. Sometimes you might work with a coach who is going to give you total immersion. So let's say, there's a few different ways of doing this. Let's say you're scared of spiders. You could go and take part in something like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, where they're going to chuck you in a pit and let spiders crawl all over you. I got to be honest, for a lot of people that works. It would not work for me. And I actually tried this approach with my fear of heights. I tried to put myself into situations where I was forced to deal with it, and all that it did was traumatize me and make me worse. Then there are people, let's take the fear of public speaking. I know people who would not go on a public speaking course because they were too afraid, and they did not want to put themselves through that. It was just too much of an ask. So it's all about, in that case, well, it's okay, what would you be comfortable with? Because you know what? You don't have to leave your comfort zone totally behind to build your confidence. You can expand it in a way which does actually feel safe and comfortable. And that's what I did with my heights. I kind of pushed the limit, but I didn't. It's almost like I had one foot still in my comfort zone, but there was one foot which was coming out of it and moving me. You don't have to go from 0 to 10 in one go. You could go from 0 to 1. And then you go, yeah, all right, I can deal with that. And then you go 1 to 2. Yeah, okay, that's all right, I can deal with that. You go from 2 to 3, 3 to 4. And then you might start getting, hey, you know what? This feels good, actually. And then you might leap from 4 to 6, 6 to 8. Before you know it, you're up there around the 9s and 10s, but you've never had to scare yourself to death. You've never had to go so far out that you lose it and that you traumatize yourself. So when I work with somebody, I work in a way where you can feel comfortable in expanding your comfort zone. All right. Now, for some people, you're going to expand it much more quickly than others. And here's the other thing. You're not a confident person or not. It's all situational. So for me, for example, I used to have a terrible fear of public speaking. I overcame that an awful lot more quickly than I did my fear of heights. You know, there's other fears, you know, that are going to take longer. And then there's some things that you can do much more quickly. Okay, and it's my job as your coach to help you figure out what is the best method for you. Do you remember I said it's not the same for everybody? And this is why a lot of coaches actually suck, because they try and adopt the same way with all of their clients. Everybody's different. Okay, and it's really important that you work in a way that's going to work for you. So that's the starting point. Actually, this kind of moves really into the C, which is choose your options, choose your methods, choose your path. If you're going to go on a journey, let's say you're going to go from, I don't know, Plymouth to Aberdeen, if we're in the UK, or New York to LA, if you're in the States. Don't know where you happen to be. Pick where you are, you'll know a route, all right? Now, there's a number of different ways you can get there. You can pick the obvious ones to start with. Fly. Probably the fastest, probably the most expensive. Then maybe, well, you could go by train. Maybe not quite so expensive. In some cases, it's actually more expensive. Going to take longer. Maybe you could drive. And then even if you drive, it's like, well, what route could I take? I can go the fast way up the motorway, or I could go the scenic route. I could take in a few nice places along the way, slow the whole thing right down and enjoy the journey. There's no right or wrong here. It's all about what's right or wrong for you. But then you can start getting creative about your options. What else could I do? Well, I could go by boat. I could sail around the UK. I could get my roller skates out. I could go on, I could bike, I could cycle. I could get my roller skates out. I could go by skateboard. And the more you start getting creative and go, well, what else could you do? What else could you do? My two favorite answers to this question were pogo stick and space hopper. Do you remember the space hoppers? Those great big rubber balls with like ears, and you basically bounced. Oh my God, they're so much fun. Now, you're probably not going to choose the pogo stick or the space hopper to get from Plymouth to Aberdeen or New York to LA or whatever. But what this exercise does is it opens up the creative channels in your brain so that you start looking at other ways of achieving your goal. And then as part of choosing the options is, well, what's going to get in the way? How are you going to, you know, overcome the obstacles? So if you've got a wall that's in front of you, you've either got to jump over it, you've either got to go around it, you've got to tunnel under it, or you've got to blast your way through it. Okay, so you've got to choose how you're going to overcome your obstacles. Who's going to help you? Are you going to work with a coach? Are you going to get mentors? Are you going to get a team to do some of the tasks that you don't want to do? Who's going to hinder you? Who's going to get in the way? You know, and then start getting creative about how you achieve, you know, like time is a big one, for example. So you might think, well, I haven't got time to do all this. What can I outsource? And it might well be that you just outsource personal stuff to give you the time to do stuff in your business. So, you know, hire a cleaner, hire a cook, so that you don't have to do those tasks, which, you know, take time away from, you know, what you really want to achieve. I know that my team that helped me get ready for Kilimanjaro were invaluable. There were some people who kind of got in the way because they, how can I put this? Let's say they were less enthusiastic about, you know, what the hell do you want to do that for? Are you mad? You know? And they might get you doubting yourself. Some people even told me that I was downright stupid. And then there were the people who really helped me. So the people who did cheer me on, the people who said, oh my God, how's your progress doing? The people who came out hiking with me and supported me while I was cutting my teeth on some of the mountains here in Spain. The people who, like, for example, my personal trainer, I hired a personal trainer who came and not only helped me with my, with sessions twice a week, but gave me what I could do in between our sessions, checked in with me, motivated me. And then there was my massage therapist who, you know, sorted me out when my muscles were aching and sore, and just helped me to, you know, get to feeling good again. You know, it's all massively important. So you've got to choose your options, your strategies, who's going to help you, and all that kind of stuff. So that's DISCO, disco. Okay, and then V, you just have to start. You have to voyage on the journey. V is voyage on that journey. Take the step. They say that the a journey of 1,000 miles starts with that single step. So you've got to actually, at one point, you've got to go, you can have the best plans in the world, but unless you implement them, unless you take those steps, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. So you have to start making things happen. And it doesn't matter if you fail. Doesn't matter. Start again. It's like when you got a little baby starting to walk for the first time, they keep falling over. The only way that they're going to walk is to keep doing it. So you've got to start taking those steps. And that brings us to the next thing then, which is E. E is evaluation. You've got to evaluate, what am I doing that's working and what am I doing that's not working? And the stuff that's not working, is that simply because I just need to build up my skill level until it works? Or is it that I'm doing the wrong thing? Am I on the wrong path? Have I got the right goal? And you could keep checking in with this. And this is really important. I mean, if you think about, I don't know, a pilot who's flying from London to New York, they are probably off course 99% of the time. They don't just set a course and that's it. You've got like wind changes and currents and storms, clouds, and God knows what else. They're constantly changing, you know, readjusting. So that's what you need to do, is evaluate. Now, here's the thing with evaluation, a lot of time we can be too critical. And we just look at things and go, oh God, that was shy. That was awful. That was just abysmal. And then you can lose heart, right? So when you evaluate something that you do, especially if it's something that you're needing to build confidence, let's say speaking, yeah? Somebody might do a webinar like this one, or get on stage and give a little talk, you know, at their local chamber of commerce or networking group or whatever. And then the first thing they do when they sit down is think, oh my God, I made so many mistakes. And you start thinking about all the things you did wrong. Well, you're never going to feel confident if all you ever do is think about the things that you do wrong. So here's what you're going to do when you're evaluating. First thing you've got to do is write down at least 10 things you did right. And then either pick one big thing that you're going to correct for next time, or two small things that you're going to correct, because you cannot think about too many big things to put right. Because if you do, and you try and think of correcting everything, you're going to be thinking about all the things you did wrong last time. You're not going to be confident. And if you're thinking about the things you did wrong, guess what's going to happen? You're going to do them wrong again. So you just focus on what to do right. And you focus on all the things you did right. And let me tell you now, when it comes to speaking, it doesn't matter how many mistakes you make. If you have an important message and one person gets that message you've done your job. My God, you've made an impact. If one person hears what they need to hear and they change their behavior, you could save a business, you could save a relationship, you could save a life. All right? People need to hear what you've got to say. Doesn't matter what business you're in. People need to hear what you've got to say. And in terms of the actual business, you know, strategy, you might get it wrong. Tweak, change, experiment, fail again. Keep failing until you succeed, you know? So important that you do this, but you keep evaluating constantly all the way through. So, R, I like this one. R is rewards, but it's not rewards for success. R is reward for effort. Too many times people miss this step. And the thing is, I want you to acknowledge that it doesn't matter if you fail. Doesn't matter if you failed yet again. The important thing is you tried. And I think you deserve a reward for that. You might have done something you didn't want to do. And you may not have got the outcome that you wanted, but you did it. You need a reward for that. I remember years ago when I was doing a telesales job. And let's face it, okay, this was awful. It was cold calling, trying to get appointments. And you just given a list of telephone numbers. And you have to dial, and you have to dial. And what happens, anybody who's in telesales knows this, you get number not in service, you get number is engaged, you get the number constantly ringing and nobody answers, you get somebody answer and they tell you where to go. You get somebody who answers and they don't immediately, actually being told immediately where to go is better than the ones who will talk to you and waste your time with no intention. That's the worst. And then you got the ones who actually will listen to what you got to say. And then you got, but then politely say, yeah, actually, no, but that's not for me. And then there's the ones where finally they say, yeah, okay, book me an appointment. Now, you don't reward yourself when you get the appointment. You reward yourself for picking up the phone a certain number of times in the first place. It's like, when I got 10 no's, I'm going to give myself a reward. When I get a yes, oh my God, I'm going to give myself an even bigger reward. But it's all about the effort, okay? So what do you have to do that takes effort in order to achieve what you want? So for me, when I was like going from being a non-hiker to doing what I needed to do to hike the Inca Trail, it was every time I got my hiking boots on and went out for a hike, I gave myself a reward. Now, clearly, the reward needs to be appropriate. If I'd like pigged out and had a great big fat meal and a huge box of chocolates, I wasn't going to get anywhere. But I'd have like a nice bath. I would maybe take some time off, watch a movie. I'd go out to a dance party that I wanted to go to. And then after, I would also reward myself with something, yeah, that I did really want. So after I achieved a certain distance, maybe after I lost a certain amount of weight, I'd go, right, now I'm going to give myself that bar of chocolate, but only one. And I'm not going to have another one until, yeah. So start thinking about your rewards, what's appropriate, what's going to motivate you and keep you going, because that's the thing. Achieving anything big, achieving anything really worthwhile is hard. You can do it, but if it was simple and easy, then how come you haven't done it yet? There's reasons, all right? So you've got to build all of this in. So you've got to build in your rewards. You've got to keep yourself motivated as you go through. And this is not just being motivated at the start of January, but it's staying motivated throughout February, March, April, May. June, July. How are you going to still keep yourself motivated in July, August, September, October, November, and keep going right the way until the end of December, and then you can go, yes. Now that is when we get to why. Yippee. This is where you truly celebrate your success. Now, you don't have to wait until December. It's, you know, up to you to decide where your milestones are. And I really believe you should, you know, set yourself milestones. And the why is to celebrate your real successes. A lot of people get a new job. They don't really celebrate the fact that they've done that. They might move house. They've just done something huge. They've bought the house of their dreams. What do? They move house on a Saturday and Sunday, and they go back to work on Monday. No, take a couple of days off, enjoy it, you know? So whatever you achieve, really enjoy, celebrate that success, okay? That yippee, that yes, is what it's all about. So I really want you to decide how you're going to celebrate when you achieve. Okay, so that is why New Year's resolutions tend to fail, what you should do about it instead, and there is a model there for you to follow to help you to achieve that. And I hope that you found this really, really useful. Now, if you do nothing else but just follow that model, I know you got a really good chance of being more successful and achieving your dream in 2024. But I have another gift to give you. Again, I said I'm not going to sell anything, and I'm not. I want to gift you a 2-hour deep dive session with me to go through this in detail, decide exactly who you are, what you want, why you want it, the best method to get there, and to ensure that you have a plan to achieve it and the right levels of confidence to achieve it, and a plan to increase your confidence so that you're not scaring yourself to death, but that you build gradually so that your confidence and courage grows, so that you do actually achieve a much bigger goal in 2024 than you ever thought might be possible. I'm gifting you that. And again, I promise solemnly, it's almost like something out of Harry Potter. I do solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. I do solemnly swear that I will not try and sell you. This is not a 2-hour discovery session, which is nothing more than a disguised sales pitch. This is a proper 2-hour deep dive where together we'll take you through some of these steps in much more depth than what I've described here and now. And you will have clarity, massive clarity on how you're going to approach 2024. Now, at the end of that 2 hours, if you say, oh my God, this is amazing, I want to work with you, then of course I'm going to say, well, yeah, let's have that conversation. But that conversation is not going to happen within that 2-hour period until we've got you to a place where you have a plan and you're excited about it. And I make that firm promise. It's not a sales pitch. I'm going to really help you in this 2-hour session. I'm changing the way that I work because I want to make a bigger impact. And let's face it, people are wise to these strategy sessions, discovery calls, and all the rest of it. And it doesn't feel good with me. So I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to trust that if you like working with me and if you want more, that you can say, yes, please, Tina, let's talk about, you know, tell me how I can work with you. That's fine. And if not, no problem. Because I know that it's going to work for you and that you're going to go, oh my God, and you're going to refer other people. And at some point in the future, you might decide, yeah, do you know what? Let's work together. All right. So I'm being totally transparent here in the way that I'm going to be working and the way that I want to help you to succeed and achieve your dream life in 2024. So walk through the door with me, book yourself on a 2-hour session. I will send you a link to do that shortly, and have an amazing Christmas. I'm gonna, well, we're only about 10, we got 10 minutes to go, but I was kind of allowing 45-minute presentation and then some questions, but nobody's actually here live to ask questions. So I'm going to wrap the session up, and I'm just going to say from the bottom of my heart, if you've listened to this replay, thank you for taking the time to spend with me. Have an amazing Christmas. Have an amazing holiday period. We're not at the end of the year yet, so have an amazing achievement of what's still left to achieve between now and the end of the year. And even better than that, I wish you an amazing new year and an outstanding year of your dreams in 2024. So that's it from me. Huge hugs, big kiss, and see you on the other side.